Hi everybody, welcome back to Restored Natural Living. Today we're going to go through the process of building a Hugelkultur mound. Last year we had great success. We did a lot of work building probably about 6 or 7 long rows in our garden, and we just thought it would be a good thing for the viewers to see how we did it.
So hugelkultur is especially beneficial if you have low-lying wet ground. It raises your plants higher, and allows the water to run off better, but it also naturally feeds the plants with the organic matter that's rotting underneath your soil. Now come along with us and we'll show you the process. So we're in the process of taking the fence down. It's we just want to clear it. The season's over now. We don't need the fence anymore, and we want to save it for next year. So we're going to take it all apart and fold it up, roll it up nice and neat, save it for next year, and we're going to, so we can, easier to till if they don't have the fence in the way. The fence is all tangled up here. Just got to take a few minutes to get it taken off of the post so we can roll it up.
So just in case people don't know why we have pie plates hanging from our posts here, these are wonderful deterrents to keep the deer away. And as the wind blows, they hit and it scares all these little animals away and they don't get into our garden. This year, the garden did so much better, and I believe it's because of these and this nice deer fence. So as an example, this is what the animals hear. And I have these on like every other post around the gardens. And I think that these are, if you have a little pie at home, keep them and poke a little hole, put them on here like this, and let it blow in the wind.
You can roll this up from this piece of strapping. We'll just keep this connected and roll it up nice and tight. So important thing to consider when you're purchasing a tiller, whether it's new or used, is that it's either 1, not too small, and 2, not too big. So you got to find the perfect medium for what you're doing. Another important factor is that your tines will reverse. So you can, as you're tilling forward, your tines will be turning in the opposite direction. Like, see, this tiller has an option to have your tines going forward and reverse. And the reason why it has both is that when you're tilling in reverse, if you catch a rock, you switch the directions, it kicks the rock back out. So it's a good, very excellent design. So we're done one row of tilling, and now we're gonna remove the top layer of dirt, the loosened layer, and then we're gonna shovel a trench.
And after we trench that out, if that's where we move our earth to, we would probably want to work from this side, throwing our dead wood into the trench.
So as you can see, we're digging that soft soil that we just tilled. It's a lot easier to dig it when it's tilled. And we're just cleaning the layer down to the hard, I guess, to the edge of topsoil.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste that soil that's there on the edge. Okay.
So now that this trench is all dug, we're going to start filling it up with organic matter. And we're going to begin by going into the woods and getting some dead wood, decomposing wood, and then we will start our layers. So we found a couple of little wormy friends, and we're going to just move those little guys aside. And truthfully, you don't want to remove worms from your garden. You want to increase the worms in your garden because these little guys are going through the earth, making little holes, and it's aerating your soil, which is very good for your plants. So if you can buy some worms even when you first start a garden, that's what we did. And I just put them in throughout the garden, and now we have lots of little wormies running around. Oh, there's another little worm. Actually, he's a big worm. Get a nice little video of him. Look at him. He's beautiful. And you know what I've realized is these little wormies must have a lot of feelings, because if you get the shovel into one of those, they're squirming around like they're in immense amount of pain. And I look at it and I think, oh, just imagine all these little wormies going on to the fishing hooks and how they feel. So now I'm going to take these little guys or girls and I'm going to just gently move them over here into the soil, and then they will come back into the mound that we make, and they'll do their job.
So we have a pile of bark and things that dead wood that we're trying to get rid of here. It's good organic matter for our Hugelkultur. Just fill in the wheelbarrow and we're gonna load it up and put it in the trench.
This is basically the microbes that are breaking this wood down. And when it's in the row, the Hugelkultur row,
It's going to be feeding the crop that we're growing off
the crop
above.
that we grow, and it's going to produce nutrients for our food. So as you can see, the earth that I threw in and the wood chips and all that I threw into this pile about a year ago, I guess, it's really done its work. Like, look at all this wood is pre-decomposed, really. Now we'll put it into the garden and it will do its work over the course of the winter and next summer.
So this is one of the layers in our Hugelkultur, and it's hay. It doesn't have to be rotten, but it is. So that's just a bonus. So we're just taking armloads, and it's going to be part of our layering process. So the wonderful thing about Hugelkultur is there's no waste. There's no garbage. This is our potato plants, what's left of them after a month of being picked. I'm going to put them in there, and it's going into the Hugelkultur mound as well. So it's not really fussy Hugelkultur, just any organic matter. Whatever you have laying around, these happen to be the potato plants.
Who would ever think that you're going to be excited about having rotting organic matter on your property? Because this stuff is so valuable.
To quote Jim Carrey, one man's garbage is another man's potpourri.
Now that we got this layer on, we're going to go over to where the leaves are and gather the leaves, and that will be our next step before we put the hay on top. And the reason we do it in this order is because I find that the leaves will blow all over the place. So in order to keep them contained, we want to put the hay on the top.
So as we were saying, the leaves help hold down, or the hay helps hold down the leaves, but this is last year's leaves. That's not going to be an issue because they're nicely half compost now. So this is going to be a great Hugelkultur row. We'll take that and we'll put that in
as our next layer.
And then we'll put hay on top of it. Old leaves, but normally you would be raking and collecting leaves. We have the lucky situation of being close to the city, and we're able to go to the neighborhoods and just, when everybody's raking up the leaves, we just liberate them from their leaves. So the next step in the process is putting the hay, and ours happens to be already rotten, which isn't good for a lot of animals at all, but it's perfect for what we're doing.
And it doesn't have to be rotting stuff that you're going to put on, because over the course of the winter, this is all going to rot. This is just what we have available today to show the video. Normally, if you have rotting stuff like this, you want to throw this into your compost pile, because if you can get just your leaves that you rake up in the fall and put some hay that's left over from the summer, put it on there, keep this rotting stuff for your compost.
Obviously, the final step in the process is backfilling, covering up all of our organic matter with good soil. So now we're taking all the soil that we mounded up, that we
shoveled out,
tilled and shoveled out, to put it on top of all the organic matter, and basically that's Hugelkultur. So this is the Hugelkultur row. That's one row complete, ready for planting.
So as you can see, this is a very easy process, and I encourage each one of you who have an interest in gardening to get out there in the fall right now and start putting some rows together. And in the spring of the year, you will probably maybe have to top dress it with some compost, or you can get sheep manure and some soil and top dress it again if you like. And
unless you've made your own.
But anyway, this is it's fun, it's relaxing. You're getting your sunshine, fresh air, and you're going to make healthy vegetables that have nutrition. This is how you do it.
The main point of this process is you don't have to buy fertilizer. It's naturally composted, it's naturally aerated, and it's replenishing itself with the rotten material underneath. giving you all the essential nutrients and vitamins that the plant needs to produce. So thanks for watching, and if you liked it, smash the like button. And if you are interested in seeing more videos like this, subscribe
We want to thank you for joining us.
at Restored Natural Living.